Greetings out there in Radio Land. How's everyone doing today? We are Radio Connections with PACE. I am Gina Pagnotta Murphy, President of PACE. I'm here with
Ebony Walton, Vice President of PACE.
Okay. How's everyone doing out there?
I'm good. How are you, Gina?
Well, I'm fine, and what we call a prayer shout out, that we are having you in our prayers, and we definitely feel your condolences out there, and we feel your in prayer. So listen, everyone pray for these people, keep them in prayer, and so that we can lift them up in good spirits while they're going through this trying time. So for the song of the week is Keep Your Head to the Sky by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Do you all remember Earth, Wind, and Fire? Yes, I know you remember. You're old school. You remember Earth, Wind, and Fire. But that is the song for the day. Keep your head to the sky. The movie of the week, Cruella. You remember Cruella? Y'all know who Cruella is?
I remember Cruella from 101 Dalmatian. Me? Why would I be Cruella?
Anyway, Cruella, you're Cruella. 101 Dalmatians. You know what? It's like, remember the Joker, the movie, The Joker, when the Joker came out?
Yeah.
And I was so excited to go see the Joker, but it was so dark.
I can't even.
I didn't like it. It was kind of dark.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested in watching Cruella, because this is more like a take of how she became Cruella and all. But I understand it's kind of dark too.
Yeah.
But I want to watch it anyway because it's on Disney Plus, and also they got another one that we didn't put down for the movie of the week. I just want to let you know, Larks.
Oh, it's not
the
on,
one with the Hulk.
Yeah, but it's not on.
Was that the Hulk? Oh no, Thor's brother. Thor's brother. That looks like it's going to be pretty good. Marvel. It's going to be pretty good.
Yeah. What is that showing on?
Disney Plus.
All of
us on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Not Disney Plus. So,
okay.
But we need to talk about it next week with all of these Roku and Disney Plus. Everybody that you got to buy this and that. You might as well go back to cable.
Yeah. Well,
monopolizing.
They're cheaper.
They're cheaper, but by the time you got all of them, like I got all of them, I might as well go to Comcast. I mean, heck, every time I turn around, they pulling something off my credit card. I'm like, well, how many doggone subscriptions do I have?
Yeah, that's true.
And when I added them up, it's about $129. That's a lot of money.
Well, still cable is about $300.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
We need to find a way to quit monopolizing cable.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we used to take the ladders and lay them up on. I ain't gonna tell you.
Because we didn't do that.
I know you did.
We just had a good.
Everybody
a good
shared
man
cable.
How to do it.
Yeah. We used to pull a pickup truck and put the ladder on the back of the pickup truck on the pole and climb up there. And everybody in the neighborhood, especially if you were in the cul-de-sac, held the ladder so the person wouldn't fall. And they went on, oh, you're going to disconnect my cable. We'll show you.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was fun. That was the good old days. Can't do that anymore.
No, not anymore.
No. Yeah.
So it's been a while since we've been over here on been 2 weeks since we've been on?
Yeah, well, we had, because we had some trying to go on to this new broadcast that we have, and as we see,
first we had Memorial Day.
Okay.
Before she blamed the rest on me, first we had Memorial Day. Then I was out for a class for the whole week for training.
Yeah.
I knew that.
But we were trying
going to work. But
we were trying to get up with this new podcast.
Yeah.
So
and the
hoping that
it was only just the light was covered up.
So hopefully next week we'll go off without a glitch.
Yes.
And this is a better way, so we can see you guys when you want to chime in, and we're learning how to bring you in physically where you can see your guest speakers.
Yes,
we can chime them in, and then there may be times where Ebony, like in that situation, in my situation, we can't get together, then we can see each other from wherever locations we are.
Yeah.
So we're working it out, but we still want to bring this podcast to you in any form for your entertainment, as well as you getting to know what's going on in any gossip that we have out there and any topics of discussion. Speaking of gossip, what is the tea time gossip for today?
Well, we still have the elections that we're still talking about. So we've been saying, how long we've been saying that Mr. Kasim Reed was going to come back, and he's back.
Boy, oh boy, he said that.
Did you see the video? He said he told them tell Atlanta, tell California, LA, Florida, I'm back.
I'm like, look at this here, right here. Where did they do that at? And I understand he was dealing with Tyrese.
Yeah, they had some kind of a party
at Tyrese's house.
Really?
But I ain't trying to throw no shade.
I like Tyrese.
But I didn't know the way that house looked. Tyrese, I thought he was broke.
Tyrese?
Allegedly. Did I say
that? I don't know.
I'm just saying, though. Allegedly. I just said it. But anyway, so the party was at Tyrese's house.
Okay.
And Mr. Reed did say that Tyrese is his best friend. They're very best close friends now.
Oh.
Didn't know that. So I'm sure Tyrese is supporting him 100%.
Okay.
And, we'll see. But he's running. It's official. And now we have Miss Moore.
Yes,
so this is going to Chairperson Felicia Moore.
And the other.
Antonio Brown. Andre
Dickens.
And
what's the young lady? Gay?
I keep wanting to say Gay, but is it Gray or Gay? Gray, I think it's Gray. Sharon
Gray.
Okay,
Sharon
but
Gray,
with no disrespect to her name, but we're going to get that straight the next time we mention her name.
Yes.
But so far, these are the candidates that I'm aware of that are officially running. So what do you think about that? Tea time gossip.
I have the one that I want to be the mayor. I know who I want to vote for, but I don't know. I don't know because once Kasim threw his hat in, I'm not sure. I don't know. I know we just have to see what the citizens want. That's what we'll see. We'll see. What
and employees who are also
and
citizens.
Employees too. But the ones that stay in are the ones that's going to be making the decisions. So we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be interesting.
This is going to be like going to. This is like going to. This is going to be really exciting because I don't like boxing and fights like this, I want to get a bowl of popcorn and just sit down. I can't wait for the debates.
That's it.
So this is very interesting, but I know who I preferably prefer.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So, you guys just stay tuned and keep up with all of the politics that's in the city. Because at this end of the day, after all the pandemic that we kind of still in, we still want to have good quality leadership to run for the city citizens and the city employees who give services to the citizens. We want to make sure that they're taken care of too. Yeah. So we are going to keep an eye on that. And speaking of the city and employees coming back to work, the city now, Mayor Bottoms has changed the phase to phase 4 and 3 to 4, and we're transitioning employees back to work. I appreciate the Public Works. I got to do a shout out to the Department of Public Works because that commission is taking a little further, even though they're transitioning everybody back to work. He's still slowly having a slowly transition, which I really appreciate that because you got a lot of people. We talked about this before, Ebony, about the people that are home and haven't really came in and out of the workforce for 14 months or, and coming back in just a cut and dry day. That's kind of a lot. That's going to be a lot of anxiety. Some people may not even want to come back. They're afraid to come back. So EAP is going to have to get involved. I've asked the city, which the Department of Public Works, again, a shout out to you guys. Thank you for taking some of the union suggestion. And they're going to do a quick survey of their employees that's been out. How are their feelings about coming back?
That's good leadership.
That's excellent really leadership.
Good. Now, when they come back, I don't know how they are inside the building. Will they be able to be separated from everyone, or how's that?
Well, I've asked questions about that, and we talked about that. In my theory with that, I'm not ready for them to come back full-fledged with the city because I understand the water fountains are not quite filtrated yet.
Okay.
which they should have been doing this all along. I asked her questions about elevators, how many people can be in an elevator. And so you might need to take the stairs. So you're going to get a workout, but some people can't. But we need to be mindful, employees out there, when you're going back to City Hall. They did mention that you bring your own coffee and your own water, because the filtration been shut down so long. They want to make sure that the water is coming through. It's going to be okay. And also the air conditioner, making sure the ventilation is going to be okay. Because that is something, you cut on that air and everything is viral.
When it first came out, they were saying that it was the ventilation that was helping it to spray it.
Yes. So that's something that, me personally, I wouldn't have opened up like that everybody at one time. I think it should have been sections and wait to these people and then get a survey. How many are coming back? How many having anxiety? So EAP can talk with them or start some type of a class, having them come down and have a class on how to come back in with the less anxiety. And something like that, instead of just saying on July the 6th, you come to work.
We had, I think we just got another young lady at our job. They said, I got an email the other night that she's out possible. She has COVID symptoms. And I mean, we hadn't had anybody have it for a while, so I'm not sure if it's positive or not, but I guess we just kind of get lax. But I would like to see them, we brought it up before, to bring the plexiglasses in there, because we are so close to one another. And the consoles, they need to be separated through the plexiglass for the employees.
Absolutely.
Because it's still out there. And a lot of them are not.
Wait a minute.
What? I wasn't at work. She's not on my shift. So don't try it. Oh God, here she go. She wasn't on my shift. She's on a different shift, but still, that's something, we still going passing with one another. So
I thought that
with pneumonia.
Oh gosh. I thought that the plexiglass was going to be put up.
That was how many months ago?
We need to follow up with the majors on that again.
I don't think maybe it was him that we went to. That wasn't him we went to on that. So
let's follow up with the chief. Maybe I can send an email out to the chief.
Because that needs it. They're so close. We piled up.
Yes.
Speaking of which, in the comm center.
Okay.
We got some changes that's coming.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know what the purpose. I don't know. But we're having sergeants, I'm told, that are now coming in as floor supervisors. So each shift already, now we have about 4 supervisors per shift. So you bring in 2 extra sergeants per shift.
So you bring in sworn.
Sworn. They're bringing in sworn. I'm not real sure the purpose. They said they've done that before and it was fine, but then the officers were needed on the street, as you would expect.
They still needed on the street.
So I don't know. I don't know what I don't know, because I know that we have to train them with this new system we have it now. I don't know. It's just going to be interesting.
So you're bringing sworn in to supervise?
They're going to be supervised because they're sergeants.
Okay, it's time for me to take a drink. Okay.
I'm just saying, I don't know. It might be a good thing. It might not. I don't know. Communications is not a department I know that people rush to go to. So I don't know how they're going to really feel about it.
Well, I don't think, I thought we were trying to get away from that sworn
I thought so.
Presence in the civilian arena.
I mean, we did bring up in the council meeting to have officers that are not being used on the street.
To dispatch.
Yes, to call take.
Call take.
Because that's where the need is. The need is we need more call takers.
We don't need supervisors.
No, we don't need supervisors unless
okay,
they will be the supervisors. If you do that, you got 4 other supervisors going back to the floor. So I don't know. I don't know what the purpose is. I don't know. I can only speculate what we think, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, let's check on that.
Yeah.
I mean, we need it. We're not closed-minded to anything that's going to make it better for
if it's going to make
the call center, but we don't need more authoritative stuff.
Yes, that's the only thing I'm afraid of. Because I asked, were they going to be in uniform? And having them in uniform, it might just be a little intimidating.
Yeah, because we sent one
Unless
of
that's
our
what they're trying to do.
we sent one of our persons over there that were helping. Mr. Butler went over there.
Oh,
and,
yes.
and as stern as he is, a very professional setting as he is, he mentioned to me when he went to talk to the captain, he did feel a little intimidated because he's talking to a police officer, an officer. There is a form of intimidation.
It is.
No matter how you look at it. And so I'm just wondering if that would be, maybe they can come over there without being in uniform.
Yeah, because we do have fire lieutenants over there, and they're there. We have one per shift, but they're there as assisting with certain things. They know how the fire system works, the streets work, what they're supposed to go on, what they're not supposed to go on. So that has been working, but they're not in a uniform, of course. Fire, they only get in uniform when there's a fire. So they're in plain clothes and, a fire t-shirt with the fire logo on it and some pants. But I don't know.
Well,
we'll see.
We'll stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because we got to have the meeting with the chief again anyway. And speaking of what's going on in the center, but not just the comm center, but throughout the whole city departments, we were talking about evaluations where, at the evaluations time. But that's to me, when your supervisor send to you that you got to have these evaluations done by this day, we got to really, we are always behind the 8 ball. I mean, why is it that we can't have, to me, I like to see all managers and supervisors go through a time management course, because you got to get your calendar and get the dates, but it starts from DHR, Department of Human Resources.
It does, because they're the ones that's asking for it.
And see, at this point, we don't have a schedule yet for the end of the year.
And I just got, like I said, I knew the date was coming up. So I remember from last year that it was turned in, that we was going, like we were chickens with our heads cut off, because we know what was going on. So I knew that it was coming up in July. So I was just assuming, hey, the end of the month of June, they're due. We didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. And then on Sundays when we received the email stating that they're due. Now Sunday was the 13th, and then we were told that they're due on the 18th. And I'm like, that's just kind of, we haven't even talked about it. We hadn't had a meeting. We hadn't had anything. And we've been so short that as supervisors, I've been working the zones, fire, and supervisor duties. So it's kind of, when do you want me to do it?
Well, let me say this. Let me be devil's advocate. How are you going to evaluate someone that ain't been to work?
Well, that's probably why y'all haven't got y'all. Huh?
No, teleworkers.
They have done that.
They're working. What about the ones that haven't been to work at all?
They can. You can't. I mean, you can only go by what you do have the little time that they was there. But I have.
And nobody's been there all year.
Well, I have. All my people have been, except one. She's probably been there maybe a fourth of the year, but the rest of them has been there.
Okay, but that's because 911 is essential. You're essential worker.
Yeah,
we're talking about non-essential workers.
Yeah, no.
How are we going to evaluate them?
Except your teleworkers, like you said, the one that still work from home.
Yeah, those are considered.
But how you evaluate them if just by the work performance?
Here's my thing. My take, just from my take. This is Gina's take. I think everybody, regardless of where you've been working or not, everybody should get effective. If you have some people that's highly or that's actually been at work and you can measure them and they feel that they've been exceptional. Look at me all raggedy. The other side. No, which side is it? This side?
You keep pulling the wrong side.
Just show everything.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, we're in reverse mode when you're looking at yourself in the camera.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that legislation should be put out there. Everybody should be effective. Period. They should. Because you got to have an annual evaluation.
Yeah, you do.
Everybody's effective. But if
you have those employees
the ones that work, the exception, that you can measure and monitor that.
Yeah. Exactly.
But and do what you need to do with them that you can measure and monitor. But I think there should be some lax understanding, some legislation or something put out that at this point, everybody, for the sake of 2020, should be effective, with your exceptions to the people that have come to work, and you can prove that they were above exceeding their goal.
Yeah.
So that's how the union takes on it. But we'll see how that works.
Yeah. It's they're gonna do it.
And You and I you brought up something to me that a couple of people I asked, and we looked at the Department of Labor with this, you guys, and we're talking about breaks at work, especially in the 911 center when they're not given breaks. And what did you find?
Well, let me read this.
Okay.
You could talk about it real quick. Let me find this email.
So we've always talked about, the city, if you come to work for 8 hours, you're actually there what is it, 8.5 hours? You're there at work. Like if you come to say, I go to work from 10 to 6:30, that 30 minutes actually is my lunch hour. So the city's not paying me anything extra. That's the extra time that I stay there so that I can have a lunch hour. And then some departments allow you to do 15-minute breaks, especially if you're in a sedentary position or you're seating all the time or standing all the time. You get 15-minute break in the morning and 15-minute break in the evening. So some departments allow you to mask those breaks and you can have 1 hour lunch. Some places will only allow you 30-minute lunch.
Okay.
But you should be getting a break. For your center, there should be mandatory breaks.
It should be.
Regardless if you're understaffed, regardless of who don't show up to work. You got to give these people mandatory breaks. They need to stop breaking these folks as soon as you clock in. Now you're going on a break.
Yeah.
Where do they do that at? That's like me coming to work at 8 a.m, but I get 30 minutes to have breakfast.
Yeah. It's and the employees are up. When a couple of weeks ago, I said, what is it that's something that you could change if you could change while working here? And that was like the main thing. We just want our breaks. It's not hard. We just want our breaks. Just give us our breaks. So I have so I'm guessing that an employee, we have a red box where you ask questions, and I'm guessing that they asked about the breaks.
Okay.
So this is the response from, I guess, admin staff, their resolution. You ready for me to read it?
Go ahead.
Unfortunately, we are unable to disregard staffing numbers to allow for breaks, as this suggestion may lead to loss of life or property and does not allow us to properly provide service to the citizens of Atlanta. This issue will be rectified with hiring and training. We have been approved to hire additional positions for each shift. We have currently 13 employees in some form of training, a dispatch class that is scheduled to start in June. So that is like I said, we have a box where they can put in concerns and everything, and that is the response to one of them.
So what I'm hearing, that response is saying that because we're understaffed, I'm going to burn you out, and you can't have no break, or go to the bathroom or eat or just.
Well, they can go to the restroom when they have, they can do that, but it's going out for your actual breaks. We still give them the breaks, but it's like some of them we do 15 minutes second half. We haven't not given any breaks, so they have been getting breaks, but it's not a full 30-minute second half. The first half, you start the shift. As soon as you get to work, you have your first 30 minutes. And then after the second half of your day, you take another 15 minutes sporadically, depending on staffing or something like that.
But there should be some set breaks, and they need to take their breaks. So what did the Department of Labor say? I think I looked that up. That you hear birds chirping.
Department of Labor does allow you to have every 4 hours, you're supposed to take a 30-minute break.
Is it 30 minutes or 15?
It's I believe it's a 30 minute.
I think it's 15.
15 minutes every 4 hours?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's right.
That's where the 30 minutes come in. 15 every 4 hours, you get a 15-minute break. Double check, but I think that's what it is. However,
this is an email from an employee.
Okay.
This is a lot. Not too much, but it's a lot. It says, in short, my tenure as a 911 communications call taker, I found no other challenge that is more challenging than having only 15 minutes for break during a 9-hour shift. So let me explain that, because we have our 10-hour people. They come in to overlap. I think I've explained it before. So we have our regular 3 to 11, 7 to 3, and 11 to 7. So now we have those that coincide and they work an extra couple of hours, so a 10-hour shift. And that's what this particular person is on. 95% of the time on the shift, we are made to take our first break before the workday even starts. No matter if the reason is due to low staffing, we put our heads down and do our jobs. Yes, we get up to use the restroom when needed, but officially, most days we are working for 9 hours with a 15-minute break. That is unsustainable for us to assist the citizens of Atlanta on their worst day calling 911 with only 15 minutes to use for a mental break, eat, use the restroom, etc. 30 minutes should be minimum for a call taker's break. For many of the senior employees, I've heard, but that the problem is with hiring staff and all of that. So I wasn't aware of that either. But so on different shifts with those 10-hour people, we give our 10-hour people 2 30-minute breaks on evening watch. They can't complain about it. They're going to get their breaks. But I'm hearing, as you see, on other shifts, they're not giving them a 30-minute break. And in a 10-hour work period, you need your breaks. And they're only getting a 15-minute break after they've had their first initial 30-minute break, the beginning of the shift.
So it sounds like there's a lot of inconsistencies over there. That's number one.
It's always.
That's something I might want to bring up to the Work Safe Atlanta committee that I'm on, to talk with them about that. You know, to talk about how can we help or make suggestions on breaks. But 911, everybody needs a break. 911 definitely need breaks. And I do think the Department of Labor does have something about break time in the city government, states, or whatever. But we have to give these people breaks, and management need to figure it out. They really need to figure out to give folks breaks, to have a mental break, a water break, just to get away from the phone. You don't want to be sitting up and looking at your laptop all day for 10 hours straight without a break. Just run to the bathroom and come back. And I don't even watch TV 10 hours a day straight like that. So, I mean, and you got to eat and have time to digest your food and do whatever you need to do. So that's something we need to talk about, bringing breaks back and making sure that everyone gets the breaks and followed by the Department of Labor law.
It is.
And it should, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's also stated in the code for breaks and lunches.
Now it is.
So we just need to follow up with the leadership over there to make sure that they're doing what they need to do. And all supervisors with their team needs to give their team a break.
Yeah.
Come off that floor when they need to take a break and you answer those phones.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. You don't have to work outside of your class, but you can work doggone below your class.
You can work below. And like I said, we try to when we can, but when we can't, it's usually because we're told we can't. You know what I'm saying? So we have to also be I don't want to say obedient, but we have to also follow the rules or not go against what management says. Let's say that.
You have to be obedient.
Not obedient. I didn't want to use that word.
Like they puppies.
Yeah, I didn't want to use that word.
Here, dog, sit down, dog, whatever. No, don't use obedience. That's because they're grown folks.
Yeah, so just following the protocols that they have or that they have put in place. The center. Don't blink your eyes like that. What is that?
Just to make it, just let me clear. These are not holes. Listen, this is supposed to be a shirt that has some little, little designs in it. But when I looked at it, I don't want the viewers to think Gina's got a hole in her shirt. So let me get it together because the other way. Oh, that way. Yeah. Okay, I'm ready. Oh my gosh. Yes. So speaking of that, when we're talking about the breaks, we're also talking about somebody was mentioning to me about, let's speak on bringing back the grace period. I never knew the grace period was gone. I thought your grace period is still here.
No, remember ours went away.
They need to bring it back.
Last year, about this time last year, maybe before Captain, it was Captain Smith. I think that's who did that. And so when the new person came in, when the new major came in, they never changed it. But we are writing more. So when our shift starts, the grace period will help them because we're not just jumping right into the seat. You're not jumping to work immediately. You're going into roll call. So the grace period will still be effective. Some of them be late 1 minute, some of them be late. If they're going to be late, they're going to be late. That's fine. But as long as you have that grace period, that usually save a lot of people. And it saves paperwork and time for us. And so we don't have that kind of time to keep writing tardy for 1 minute.
So when are you considered late? In roll call or when you hit the clock?
When you hit that clock 1 minute after.
Okay, so when you hit the clock, but then I thought there was some discrepancy
We
like
fixed
over
that with the
there.
roll call.
Oh,
That's
okay,
been fixed.
good.
That's been
So
fixed.
then bring the 5 minutes. What's 5 minutes?
It's something we can bring. They brought that up to the chief that other day when he was in there. So
Mhm.
again, once we have a follow up, maybe we can get it all in black and white and then go from there, because it needs to be considered. That's the only thing with the 3 different shifts. It's always been there since I worked there. Everybody does different things, right? So
Right.
you have to have something in place that no one can deter from what this. If this is what it says, this is what we have to do.
There should be it's a grace period
And that's what we're going to go by.
And you guys need to start following the grace period at the 911 call center. Police is probably not even that stringent.
They're not that stringent that I know of. I don't even think police are just not that stringent anyway. They give the officers breaks for every. I mean, not when I say breaks, I don't mean a break time. I mean, they're not on them. Like when we have funerals,
like they're on you guys.
Yeah, when we have funerals, I went to a class, and that's why I'm bringing this up. I went to a class, and I was like, well, we have to get obituaries from our people. They said, what?
Who told y'all that?
We have to bring in obituaries when we have when you have leave like that.
Wow. Well,
to prove that person, I guess, actually died.
Yeah,
and a lot of people kill off the same family member.
And let me say, and here's the thing with that. That used to be the way it was when we used to have bereavement leave. And a long time ago, not telling my age with the city, a long time ago, long time ago, you had bereavement leave. And bereavement leave, to take the bereavement leave didn't go against your personal vacation time or sick time.
Okay.
So to prove that, so it wouldn't be abused, they did require you to bring in an obituary. Mm-hmm. But at this point, there's no longer bereavement leave, which we've asked council to reconsider bringing bereavement leave for 3 days. Until that happens, you take either your sick time or your vacation time. Normally, they allow you to take sick time because it's not a vacation to go to a funeral. But whatever you have, and therefore you don't need to bring in an obituary. Yeah, because it's your personal time. But see, that's something that we need to talk with the chief at, because I mean, to me, that's a personal business. I don't want you to know, or if you're not invited to my family member's funeral, why do I want to share all of my personal business in an obituary of my family to somebody that don't have a clue or don't care, that I lost someone? So we need to really look at that. I mean, it is what it is. So you talked about someone sent you a text about civility in the workplace.
Yeah, she said this employee texted me and said how to address incivility in the workplace, and are there any protocols in place? So I sent her the SOP that we have. It's SOP 2010 Work Rules 2.2.2. And it just goes into saying employees shall be civil, orderly, and courteous to the public, co-workers, and supervisors, and should not use coarse, insensitive, abusive, violent, and profane language. And so I asked her, can she give me an example? What's going on? And one of her supervisors, she said, it's every day. This particular supervisor just seems to just give her a hard time. And this particular supervisor, we've been talking about for a while. We've all had issues with this. You don't speak to anyone. And when you do, it's not in the best or the most professional form to talk, or you talk at somebody. So I told her whatever issue she have, if she have an issue. And then another employee talked to me on Saturday about this same supervisor. And I said, listen, y'all got to start writing this stuff down. Write it down. Give the date, what happened, the story of what happened, a little synopsis of what happened, and send it out. Send it to the manager. Follow up. See if it's a grievance. I mean, if it's grievable, of course, you can file your grievance. But if everybody's having these issues, y'all need to have this stuff taken to go up to the manager. And so they saying that the manager, it's just not any follow through from their particular her manager. So they've been having some issues with this particular young lady. And again, I bring it to Des because I haven't talked. She's been out, so I said I was going to talk to her about it.
And Des is the manager.
Dan is not that she's the manager over their other manager. Okay. So she's the operations manager.
Okay.
So I can bring her and the captain in on it, Desiree. I'm sorry, Desiree. And just let them know what's going on so they are aware of what is going on. And then handle it from there. Hopefully they can.
But there is a code for this already. You know that, right?
I know.
There's a code in the city service, civil service code book about misconduct and cursing and everything for civility, how to treat each other.
Mm-hmm.
So there's already a code in there. So if this person is not doing what they need to do and violating codes, not even your PPB, they can file a grievance against that person.
Yeah. So, and that's what I sent her. I sent her that. And so if she's not doing that, then like I said, go through that process and do what you have to do. But a lot of people are, and one young lady I talked to, and I sent her her name again, because she's not seeing anything coming out for her union dues, but it was sent out. But she was afraid because she's like, I just want to come to work. I don't want to bring the union in and then have this fight and then we'd be going back and forth. She's already going to do what she's going to do. And so a lot of them are afraid. And I think that that's what happened previously. Once they got onto her before, that just made it worse for those employees.
Well, you need to bring it to the union.
So
that's what we're there for.
Yeah, and that's what I told her.
For you.
That's what I told her.
So you and then once the union gets involved, if there's anything done to you that's retaliatory, and that's a no.
So now I saw this when I talked this particular employee. She said, "See, I just went into roll call, and nobody was back there but this particular supervisor. I asked her what's my assignment because we were already on first break, and she said she didn't know. But you got to know because they were already on break. So give her assignment, but she didn't. So she came in there and said something to me, the young lady. And so the supervisor comes out, and I witnessed this myself. The supervisor comes out, the young lady say, hey, so-and-so, what's my assignment? And so she finally gave it to her. And she said, well, I was on that assignment the other day. Why am I on this same zone again or another zone or something? The supervisor walked off. She acted like she didn't hear anything. So, I mean, I understand because I've dealt with this particular supervisor before too. And it's just a personality. It's just how she is.
Well, and
She's not a people person.
It's not just how she is. And a lot of people say that.
And that's true. We got
to get out of that. Just accept it the way it is. If it's not right, it's not right.
Yeah.
And you need to deal with it. And so whoever they're having those issues need to file a formal complaint. And it needs to go up.
And that's what I told her. I said, file it. But like I said, she said, Ebony, I just don't want any problems. And
that's the sad part. Join the union. Let the union do your fight, and you don't have to worry about it. Just sit back and just provide the information.
So on her part, when I said the same thing to her, she said, well, I got to come to work with her. And she's going to, at some point, be the admin person, and she's going to give those assignments. And if she already knows that there's something going on between me and her, she's going to give me the crappy assignments. She's going to do it. And I said again, if you can prove that what she's doing,
document.
Then document that. But I guess people just get discouraged on the process.
Well, that's why it's important that you join the union with PACE so that we can fight your battles for you. And then just document everything that's going on. And we will do the thinking. We will do the negotiation, mediation. And if anything goes wrong or they try to mistreat you, then we got something for that too. So that's not an issue. Just if you're afraid to bring it out on your own, make sure the union is aware of it. We want to help you before the fact, not after.
Yeah, not after the fact. Not after the fact.
Okay, and let's talk about a little bit about, we were talking about crime in the city. Well, you mentioned that to me the other day. And something horrible happened that I read about this person didn't want to wear a mask.
Oh my God.
And
it's just out of control.
And killed the woman.
Killed the woman.
Point blank range.
Injured an officer.
Because he did not want to wear a mask.
Came back into the store.
So he left out the store, came back. So that was premeditated.
Came back. Yeah, came back to get her.
Let me say this to people that's listening. Understand. Whether you've been vaccinated or not, I am so tired of this. I've been vaccinated. This is what I hear. I don't have to wear a mask. I've been vaccinated. I've been vaccinated. That's all I'm hearing. Good for you. You've been vaccinated, but everybody hasn't. And everybody has a personal opinion about who should or why shouldn't they, and who doesn't and who does. If you are vaccinated fully, we appreciate you for doing what you feel and doing what is necessary. However, there are still protocol rules of engagement when you're in public. And when you go to stores or people's homes and houses, if they want you to take your shoes off before you come into my house, that's my rule. Before you get in my house, remove your shoes. If you coming into my place of business and I say wear a mask, that's what you need to do, or don't come into my business. But before you go and get mad and want to kill people because I'm asking you to wear a mask, and because you've been vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask, you better get out of here.
Yeah.
And so this needs to stop. And all of the people out there that's been vaccinated, stop making it look as though this is the God-send situation and people that haven't been vaccinated are sinful. It needs to stop. It does. Because you don't know whether or not that person has a religious belief to not be vaccinated, disability where they can't be vaccinated, or whether they've been vaccinated or not. That's nothing to everybody go around. Have you been vaccinated? Have you been vaccinated? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Yes, that is not a discussion. That is still a personal medical situation. We can encourage people to get vaccinated because the more herd of population that get vaccinated allegedly supposed to subdue this virus. But to make this a hate situation because you are not vaccinated or you got to wear a mask or not wear a mask, I think they should be treating them like a hate crime. That's what I think. What do you think?
They probably should, because that's what it's coming down to. It's going to come down to.
Outside of murder, it's a hate crime.
Yeah,
I hate you because you don't want you want me to wear a mask, and I've been vaccinated. I hate you for not allowing me in your store.
And now I'm gonna shoot you.
And now I'm gonna shoot you.
But the crime, you can't turn on the news without somebody being shot. Without somebody being.
Where did all of this come from?
Guns. Anybody can have a gun. I seen a video in Buckhead with some kids having a gun.
In Buckhead.
In Buckhead.
Wow.
I'm going to show it to you.
In Buckhead now.
In Buckhead. A citizen called the other day, and he was talking about, what was he talking about? He was talking about the racers, the street racers. And he said, listen, this is just ridiculous. And, people are not going to want to stay in Atlanta. We're going to be moving out. I mean, he said all this on the recorded line. He was upset about it. And I understand. I completely understand. But look at this video. I'm going to show you this video. I should have put it up on the screen.
Yeah, because they can't see it.
Just look at it. And the video is showing some kids out in Buckhead, or some young adults, whatever. They're out in their cars. It's been going around on Instagram. And this one young man has an AK-47. Oh, you can see it. Yeah. He has an AK-47, big as him. And he comes out with that just out. He doesn't even look 25 years old.
That's sad.
It is. And the one guy says, you hear the commentary, he's like, oh, look, he got a gun. Let me go. Give him a snake. He had his snake with somebody had his snake or something. But when it's that many people, y'all just doing nothing. I don't understand. Why does it have to turn up to be something when it's that many people? Why you can't just have a good time? I remember before the pandemic, my sister and I, we used to go to what's the place that they used to have the concerts over there on Butner Road. They had the concerts over on Butner Road, Wolf Creek. And to see that many African American, because that's mainly was there. You see a couple of Caucasians, but majority is African American. That was one place that nothing happened.
She had to say Caucasian.
I had to. Well, I'm just
light skinned.
Oh people. My gosh, here she goes.
Here we go.
But they were adults, they were grown, 30s and up, 40s and up. So why is it that the younger generation can't do? Why we can't just
home training?
Is it because the parents are too young, or
you got babies raising babies?
But even as babies raising babies, sometimes if grandma had a hand in, or if those babies were mature babies,
They don't have a Medea.
that's what it is. No Medea.
There's no Medeas in those families anymore.
Yeah.
There's no Medeas. And so, you got mamas and daughters
Hanging
twerking
out at
together.
the club. Yeah,
At the
right.
club.
At the club together.
One
What they
thing
doing
about
together?
me,
What they
twerking.
twerk.
Is that the word? Because I
That's the
used to
word.
say tweeting.
What tweeting is tweeting in.
No, but I was talking about twerking was tweeting. And so, one good thing about my kids, they know I can't twerk. So, we ain't going to be twerking together at no club.
Either. I don't drink with my children.
No.
I don't do any of that stuff.
No.
I mean, I understand and I know they're grown and they're going to do it, but do it with yourself. I don't drink around my mother just out of respect.
They're embarrassed with me anyway because I tried to twerk.
Oh my God.
And they said, Mom, just let it go. Let it go. So they would not want me hanging out at no club twerking. No, they've already told me that.
So I don't know what else with they might need to go back to tighten up on these gun laws, but these folks want these guns.
Well, I got a suggestion. Now, I don't know. I'm sharing this suggestion with somebody shared with me. I don't know if it was you or whoever it was about now. One suggestion for this crime with the speed racing and the cars and stuff. When you when you arrest these people, take their cars and they can't get them back.
Oh yeah.
Like it do
or
drug
they
dealers.
Or they license. Well, no, if you take the cars, because the license don't mean anything. They'll just drive another car with no license.
But every time they get caught with it, keep the car.
Yeah.
Sell it at an auction.
Now they should do something.
So they got money to keep buying them. The more you keep getting caught, we're going to impound your car. You don't get it back. Like drugs, they don't give it back when the drug dealer get out of jail. They don't give him his drugs back. So I don't know who gave me that suggestion or mentioned that, but that's a good one. I would suggest the city need to adopt that ordinance that if you get caught with speed racing and whatever, we're going to impound your car and you're never getting that car back. And we're going to sell it.
So this is what Benjamin is saying. What about this idea of developing shelter in place and or take cover for employees working on the street, especially with crime, but also with weather-related emergencies?
You know what? Thank you, Ben, for reminding us of that, because that is a project that Ben and myself with the union have mentioned to the administration representatives, that the employees do not know, and even I, or do you know where your shelter in place is right now? Because the United States has always been, and Georgia's always been, let's just say with Georgia, has always been a peaceful type of, we have our internal racial arguments and marches and protests, and crime. But we've never had a war over here. We've never been where we've had something so violent where we have to, you hear sitting here and you hear a big siren go off. What do you do when you hear? Do the Georgia even have a siren?
That one for that tornado, remember?
Okay, with the tornado. Where, if I'm out in the field,
I don't know where to go.
If I'm out in the field working, where do you go?
I don't know.
Do I drive 10 miles back to my location?
I don't know.
Or is there a school nearby that I need to go? Where are our fallout shelters? And that's what we need to, for anything. Bad weather, raiding, or I want to call war, or people invasions, nuclear bombs, or where do we go?
Maybe they have something, but it just ain't up for it. We don't know about it because we the little people.
Well,
maybe it's not for us. Maybe they have something.
Well, I'm sure the governor and the mayor has a place
for them.
Go.
We just don't have it for us.
But that's something that we need to work out. And Benjamin, on his project with citywide safety with the union, is trying to come up with something that we can train and share. If you're out, like maybe breaking the city down into quadrants and find out where those shelters are in those quadrants and what areas of the installations or your work environment. So if you would say in the West End area, quadrant 1, and something extreme happened, you get notified. Don't try to come back to the facility. It's closer for you to go in this quadrant to this shelter for safekeeping until it's over with. That's what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And
that's something that should be
so good. Right. Good shout out, Ben, for that. We appreciate for reminding that, and hopefully we'll have some information on that in a couple of more podcasts once he gets that project done very well. The deputy COO Justin Johnson was very appreciative of that. So we are hoping that we can get Ben to finish that project and submit it to him and see if that's something that the department heads should do. Coming from the administration portion of it.
Okay, so how's your department been going? Or Do we have any other board members that's having any type of issues or things going on?
Well, we do. We're going to be meeting with the fire on that issue for the union side sometime today or tomorrow. I think it's today. You told me today, but
yes.
But anyway, about their you know, some issues that they're
pay.
going to hazard pay.
I had someone email me this morning about asking, do we get the $500?
No, it's supposed to stop.
We stop. We don't get the
yeah. But I think we should continue because we're still in pandemic. And let me say this: we are maybe not. We may be coming a little bit getting better, but we are still in pandemic. They're still out there. That virus is still out there. So you still need to be safe. And if you want to go get vaccinated, go get vaccinated. But we got to still operate as though it's still there.
Yeah.
So you still got essential workers. Now you bringing everybody back in,
it's going to be
even worse. You know, and that's why the union wanted you to transition people back in slowly to see what kind of data is out there, what's going on before you bring everybody back in, and then you got to send them back home.
Majority, yep, exactly. Because once a breakout happens, everybody got to go home.
Everybody got to go back home.
Everybody's got to go back home. But I think we still do get the 500.
You don't get anything. June the 30th. Yeah, that's it. That's a wrap.
So we was getting it up from January to now. Yeah.
Supposed to have, but some people
haven't getting. Yeah,
and the fire civilians, those inspectors that were physically working were not.
Oh,
so that's what we're working. Why did they not? And we need to get them paid.
Yeah.
So we will be meeting with their leaders today, to see about that happening. So and folks still want to get paid for $500, but it is what it is. There's been some negative comment from some leaders that I've heard about that, budget wise. But hey, this is federal money. This is not about federal, because just like when you have storms, FEMA reimburses you or takes care of that. So let's not send out in our workers leaders that we don't have the money to pay you. It's just the administration has decided to stop paying it because we're bringing everybody back in. But the union's gonna still be on tight. We're gonna be on guard with that to see what's going on, and hopefully be able to bring you some positive feedback, and hopefully nothing comes negative out of everybody coming back in. We want everybody to be at work. We want everybody to get back to some normalcy, but with safety for you and your family.
Definitely. We sure do. The class I went to last week was really informative.
I like the part. Tell them about the part you said they don't have unions.
Oh, they don't have unions. Oh my God.
Say that again, loud.
They don't have unions. So I was in Cumming, Georgia, and you have it was a director there. It was a lot of supervisors. Most of them were supervisors that were there. But we were at a Cumming, Georgia's their 911 center, which is nothing like Atlanta Center, of course. But they do all their functions. So the dispatcher answers the phone line.
Right.
She dispatches the unit. She runs the things on ACIC. They do everything. No break. I said, what? She said, no breaks. Well, we can run out and go get our food and come right back. But we can't, we're not having breaks. We don't have breaks. And they work 12-hour shifts. I said, so.
That's abuse.
Do y'all have a union? No, we don't have a union.
We would never sit down on that one.
Yeah.
You'll hear my mouth all over the city.
All of those centers, it was about 15 centers represented in there.
Did you get the list of them?
I did. I have a list.
To go check them out.
I have a list. It was about 15 of them, and none of them have a union.
We might need to organize.
So yeah, that's gonna be some more work. She's trying to kill me.
We might need to organize.
Yes, I was. But the thing about it was like that they was not upset that they only had these little no breaks. It was as if that they was like, I can't even understand or even put it in words. The mentality that they had was like, and y'all have breaks, really?
That mentality. That mentality is like when you don't know no better because it's not been exposed.
And
they don't know.
I just couldn't. They were like, man, I said no. I said, we couldn't do all of that on our. I said, we couldn't, for the city of Atlanta, we couldn't take the call and dispatch it. It's no way.
I would love to organize
No
this
way.
group of people.
Yes, no way.
Because
So
the federal
that's a
government
project.
now has passed that you cannot stop
Yeah.
or to organize a union. So we're checking into that.
We're gonna check into
More work, but it'll be very good discipline, union wise.
more work for who?
I want to get before we go to close
Go
it
ahead.
because we're getting it to the top of the hour.
Okay.
But you know me, I just love to just water cooler gossip.
Oh my gosh.
I want to get back to that part. And I know, and please, if y'all hear this and y'all are friends of this person, don't have them calling me and going off. Please.
Go ahead.
Don't have them do this. I just got to say this. How did Tyrese get to be friends with Kasim Reed? I just can't. When I saw that, it baffled me. And I'm like, and I kind of met Tyrese, but didn't meet him when
Really?
the inauguration of Mayor Bottoms. He was sitting kind of across the aisle from me, and he was like, woo-ha, woo-ha, Mayor Bottoms. And I turned to look, because I didn't turn to look like he was being, obnoxious. I said to myself, because I was getting starstruck, oh, that's Tyrese. So that's why I turned around and he looked at me. He said, oh, I'm so sorry I'm so loud. But he just didn't know it wasn't about that. I was like, oh, I'm sitting next to Tyrese, But anyway, shout out to you, Tyrese. But if you are buddies with Kasim, and he said you are, and you are supporting him dearly, and in the event, let me say this, but I'm not putting this in the atmosphere, whoever wins to be mayorship, because I already know who I'm voting for. But in the event that Kasim Reed becomes the next mayor, in the event, and Tyrese gets a place on the seat, you know how that works, put him somewhere where he knows what he's doing. That's all I'm saying. Make sure he knows what he's doing. And you know what I mean? Maybe put him over the movie production stuff that they used to have. But I don't know. But anyway, he has some issues with that too. But give him an opportunity to come back. Now, if somebody else becomes the mayor, we want to make sure that cabinet of that person is bona fide, effective, know what they're doing, experienced, and transparent. Yeah. And
now, you know what? Let me do this one shout out too. Look at that. But the chief, you can never remember his name, and now I forgot it already. Hold on, wait. The chief that you can't never remember his name, Chief Brian. Last week we had a APLI class with him, and he came in, but it was a lot of the recruits were there, and what he did was he gave the recruits opportunities to meet all the chief, the major, all of those people in those positions, head positions. McGee was there. They met, everybody was able to ask questions.
Okay.
Which they said is something that they didn't do before. So I would like to definitely shout that out to Chief Brian for doing that, for allowing those employees, the recruits, to give them a voice. Because when we come on, when the employees, whether they're recruits or civilians, come in, and now they're going to change our names to not civilian employees, but professionals or something like that. They have a voice too. And you have some people that are trained in other things that you can use them instead of just saying, this is your job, this is all you can do, be quiet, and that's it. No, that's
so they're changing you. So what are they changing now?
So something professional.
So they took a little hint from us, so they're using that because you are. Oh, okay. So you all can be considered first responders.
Not yet. Professionals. They're changing the name to professionals. Legislation has to be passed for the first responders.
Well, we're going to get that legislation.
That's coming. And about 3 or 4 other states and just did theirs within the past.
So that's coming. And remember this: Pace started it. Pace Union started it. So anybody out there that's council, no disrespect, just say partner with the union that you guys want to legislate that we push for the first responders. We did it all the time for many years. We never get the credit.
We did a good presentation though.
But that's okay.
That video was nice.
So what about this carjacking with the Councilman Antonio Brown?
What about it?
Well, people have been calling me saying that it's wrong for holding that call taker responsible.
Well,
what do you think?
I hadn't heard the call myself, so I can't really say. I know she was a union member, but we didn't have the opportunity to represent her. because I believe she did get some type of reprimand behind that. We get people send wrong signals all the time, but because it was Councilman Brown, somebody had to take the fall.
Do you want me to say it, or you gonna say it?
Say what? Because he was Councilman Brown, somebody had to take the fall. Oh,
yeah,
I just said it.
You just said it.
I just said it.
I missed that.
Because it's who he is. That somebody had to eat it. Somebody had to.
We got to stop. We got to, but that's politics. But politics need to stop. And I want the person in the mayor's office, whoever become mayor, stop putting it on the little people to bite the bullet. When you know, because you're a council person or I'm this, it's always what I call name dropping. Okay, so
that's where the inconsistency come in place, because the next person that sends a call that's the wrong signal outside of what they was told. And again, I don't know. I didn't listen to the call, so I don't know what she asked, what was said. I don't know. But I know at the end of the day, it was not necessarily a carjacking. To him, it may have been, but we have signals that a carjacking is by force. And that wasn't, his vehicle wasn't taken by force. He had left the vehicle running. So technically, you kind of open the door and let him have it. That's how we see it. That's how we have these signals for a reason. So, and then I think he called back and said,
"Is this the? But wait a minute, I'm confused now. Is this the same one?
This is different.
So it's two different ones.
It's two different ones. Both, and I think both of them because of the status of the person.
Dynamic, I guess. So what difference would now even make it even more pertinent versus what council person having the issue dialing 911 versus a regular person who was a entertainer or rapper calling 911. Yeah. And versus me, who I'm just a little old nobody calling 911. We don't care about you. I know y'all don't.
We ain't gonna care about you.
A lot of people don't care about me.
Ain't nobody gonna get in trouble for that. Oh, it was just Gina.
That was just Gina. That's why they didn't show up when I called 911. Who is it? Who is this? Gina Pagnata.
And that's the thing why I didn't understand with the young lady. He did announce who he was, but how many of these employees know who their council people are? People call in and say they doctors all the time. People say that, unless you're the president of the United States of America, they're not, or they should not be expected to know who that person is unless they had a class on who your council people are.
Well, that's something we but still, that goes back to one thing I didn't like with Mayor Reed at the time. Now, I had a problem with that. I might have been wrong. This is my opinion.
What?
When he was riding around town with the lights on and stuff like that, people laughed at it. But I didn't think nothing was wrong with that. You are the leader of the city, and any mayor, that's okay. You have that privilege.
You have it.
That special privilege that you need to be for safety and security. I wouldn't want to be sitting up there waiting in line. I'm the mayor.
Yeah.
The president ain't gonna sit there and wait in no traffic. They're gonna, first of all, they're gonna block off wherever and get.
Don't they do it too?
They do it too. Well, they supposed
to.
But I didn't see no problem with that. So we gotta quit nitpicking. Give due process what due process is.
Yeah.
If the mayor needs to ride to get around in an emergency, you don't know where that emergency is going, and they need the blue lights. Let them have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But make sure that they have the safety of everybody involved.
That's
okay.
Right. Yeah.
So any mayor should have that responsibility.
Yeah.
And just like when Mayor Norwood, she says, well, I'm not spending a lot of money on a car. I'm going to ride my, that was cute what she was doing. I understood her plans. But as the mayor, I need you to be protected. Okay. You're running our city.
Exactly.
You sign my payroll check.
Exactly.
I need you protected. So get your tail in one of those cars
so
that's with your security to protect you. That's what the budget is for. No matter who it is.
When you're in that position, that comes with the position. You don't have that right to say, or you shouldn't have that right to say, I don't want to be. I mean, you just don't know where something could happen at any moment, anytime. And if you don't have your entourage of protection with you, then that puts you
at the end of the day, you're being selfish, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you're here to govern our city. Yes, we don't want nothing to happen to you.
You leave us open.
There you go. So take that. So we're just saying all of that to say, you guys, that, there's right protocols or certain things, and we just gotta quit being nitpicky and who the name. Well, speaking of name dropping, I have to say this before we close. I didn't know DeKalb County knew who I was.
Oh, really?
Now that's scary. But not that I did something wrong. DeKalb County Police. I was on my way to a meeting. This was a couple of years ago, right? I was on my way to a meeting. And right there off Moreland Avenue, they stay packed. You guys, when you travel on Moreland Avenue, right off that 285,
Yes.
they're hitting everywhere. And I was doing a little bit, not a lot. I was doing a little bit over and trying to get to a meeting. And I wasn't speeding, maybe about 5 to 6 miles over. I think he was just being nitpicky that day. Pulled me over, got out. He came in there. He says, may I have your driver's license or whatever? And he looked down in my window like that. He said, I know you. And I say, you don't know me, you know. And, so anyway, make a long story short, he said, you'll be on TV. And I said, yeah, I'm the union of blah, blah, blah. And he said, where you headed in a hurry? I said, well, I got to go represent someone, sir, but I didn't know I was speeding like that. He said, just a little, but I'm going to let you go here so you can go represent. Just be careful. So that's
a good thing.
Certain positions comes with some perks.
It does.
So I can't be mad at the mayors when they want to put their blue lights on. Because if I had a blue light, I'd put mine on.
Your car.
Yeah, because I can't stand traffic. And I come from Stone Mountain going back to work to Howell Mill. I got to get on 78, the 285, the 85, the 75 at 8, 9 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
If I had blue lights,
Amazon selling a thing.
Amazon said, no, I ain't going to jail to pretend. I ain't going to jail to pretend I'm a police officer now. But listen, you guys, it has been a pleasure. We're sorry that we were out last week, but you know, we had some stuff going on. And ugly. And we appreciate you being with us. This is a new thing that we're doing, and it's supposed to be more Bible, user-friendly. And we're going to get it together where we can see you, and we have guests coming on. We can see the picture of them. And
if
Ebony,
you want to talk,
Ebony, a shout out on laying all jokes aside, doing a great job trying to maintain her 911 parts in the city, doing her job, and as well as doing her job as the vice president for your union, PACE, and working with me because I give her a lot of assignments to do. I'd like to shout out to Ben Martin, who's also a strong advocate and a member of PACE, and all of our executive board that meets every third Tuesday at 5:30. 5:30, and we are on. So you guys, we will plan on in the future soon. We're discussing a barbecue at
Sweetwater Park.
Which
is in Cobb County.
Yes. So we'll be sending out information on that, RSVP, so we know how much food we need to feed you. And just to do a meet and greet, and we're going to do social distancing as much as we can. You're going to wear your mask, whether you're vaccinated or not. It's up to you, but we got to be safe for others. But we're going to have a good time. And so be looking out for that. Spread the word, because we would like everybody to bring someone that may be interested in joining the union. And we're going to have some, maybe a vendor to sell some items, you know, some safety equipment and stuff. It's going to be a little big thing. So this is going to be our first one in many years. So we're hoping it turns out good. So as always, we appreciate your input.
Yes.
Email us, call us, text us, anything
you
want to talk about, and give us some gossip, hot topics.
Give us something to talk about and share these links. Again, if you have any issues that you just want to bring up and see how other departments are handling or how it should be handled, just send it to us. Let us know, and we can always just discuss it. If we can't do anything else, we can discuss it. And other people are always going through something that someone else is going through. So.
Absolutely. Do we have any things to close out with? Anybody comments?
No. Benjamin was saying it was a great conversation today.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Benjamin. And we're going forward. We're going to close out today. But remember, you can always go back to YouTube.
Yes.
Radio Connections with PACE, but it's got to be a little W. I just found that out. Not the whole word spelled out, just a little W with PACE. And you can see all of our podcasts. If you missed them. So spread the word.
And subscribe.
And yes, subscribe. Get the bell.
So what you say?
What I say?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. But you know what I'm saying. So this is Radio Connections with PACE out. And we'll see you next week. Please be safe, everybody. Take care.
Have a good one, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Till next time.
Till next time.
So how would you might as well keep talking because
I don't see why she's clicking.
I gotta click it off. The mouse isn't doing anything.
See, we still live and you still acting crazy.
I just told you.
Comment on good work and you got the
we off the air and I'm still got to talk. Why are we shut down, Ebony? Just shut it off. Slam.
There you go.
That's an after the set commentary.
Yeah.
You know how they had after the program commentary. This is crazy. Will you hit the end stream, please?